What is up, Coach Emma here, and welcome back to the Fit Habit Life podcast, where we cut through the noise, talk real health and fitness, sustainable fat loss, and habits that actually work. And on today's podcast, I will be talking about the new challenge I signed up for and how I'm going to conquer it. I have not signed up for any type of challenge in a really, really long time. I think the last event I did was a Spartan race before we moved to Utah. So that was well over 4 years ago. So anyway, before we jump in, I just wanted to thank you for listening. If you've been enjoying the show, if you could rate the show, share the show, or subscribe to the podcast, that would just help me get in front of more people, which helps me help more people, which is the goal of this show. So thank you guys for being here. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably know what I signed up for. But here, I'll lead with a story. And if you listened to the last episode, you probably know too. But basically, Monday night of last week, so 7 days ago now, because I guess 10 days from when this podcast releases. I'm recording this on a Sunday, so it was 7 days ago, maybe 6 days-ish. 6 full days? Anyway, Monday. And a friend was like, hey, there's this group trail race that a couple friends and I are doing, and we need another person. Would you join? I'm like, sure, that sounds fun. Little do I know it's what you call a Ragnar race. So it's a 48-hour, 120-mile race that 8 of us are doing. So I'll be having to run. Honestly, it's closer. The courses they outlined, it's closer to about 17 miles in 2 days. It's split up. So there's 3 loops that I'll be doing. There's a 4.5, 5.5, and 7.7 mile loop or something like that. And I haven't really ran since moving to Utah. I've run a couple times, but not really like I used to run. I had a really poor relationship with running because I used to use it as a means to lose weight or punish myself for overindulging. And so I've never really gone about it for a fun way. But interestingly enough, a couple weeks ago, I had a weird urge to go on a run. And so I did, and it was really fun, and I enjoyed it. And so I started slowly incorporating it back in. So I've probably been running for 3 weeks. But when I say running, when I ran the 3 miles out of when I had the urge to run, my low back was really sore because I hadn't ran in a long time, and I wasn't bracing my core, and just my body wasn't really used to it. But my legs were fine. So anyway, then I slowly dropped down to 1 mile and started to scale. But when I thought she said a for fun trail race, I thought it was maybe just a morning thing where it's everybody's kind of running together. I didn't think it was a 48-hour camp out thing, and I didn't think I'd have to run that much. And it's in 5 weeks. So from when this podcast drops, it'll be 4 weeks away. But I thought it'd be helpful for me to outline my fueling strategy and training strategy for the next 5 weeks. And I will probably do another episode later in the month on my fueling strategy for the race itself, because I think that would be cool to see hey, this is what I'm planning on doing. And then I'm going to do a recap with Laura, and we're going to talk about what I actually did and if it actually worked or not, or how I felt and how it helped contribute to my running and ability to do the event. And that's kind of my goal. Do the event and not be too much of a weak link. I know all the other women that I'm running with are runners, and that's what they do, and they do marathons and other things. So as long as I can survive and not be completely pathetic, that's my goal. I'm assuming I'm going to be the worst on the team, so as long as I'm not the worst by too much to where it's kind of pathetic, then I call that a win. So number 1, I have very low expectations because I only have 5 weeks. That's my number 1 thing that I recommend if you guys ever do this. Actually, number 1 thing, do not do this. Get more information before you sign up for something. That's the number one tip. But number two tip, if you do something like this, low expectations for yourself, because then you won't be disappointed. It'll just be a fun time, which is what I'm hoping for. So low expectations, but just don't do what I did. Give yourself a couple months. But I guess biggest thing, and this is where mindset comes into play. So the reason that I said yes is because I'm in a phase of life where I'm trying to be present in life and do things that I haven't done and live my life more, because I've sacrificed a lot of social things, events, and other stuff for fitness, for sports when I was in college, for work. I've sacrificed a lot of living for things that, while I think they do matter, they are of value. I don't want to have to do that anymore. And so because my goal right now is to get strong, which is why this is kind of counterproductive, to get stronger and set myself up for a eventual successful fat loss phase, but also to not be moldy. That's the other kind of hurdle, is I'm going through a mold protocol. And I'm kind of going all over the place today, guys, but this is how my brain's feeling right now. But I have more energy than I did the last time I recorded podcasts. So the last time I recorded podcasts, I don't even remember what I talked about because I was so exhausted. But that was last weekend. Since last weekend, I've actually had a lot more energy and I felt a lot better. Anyway, usually I have pretty stable energy. I felt really drained last week. And so we started phase 1 2 weeks ago from Saturday. And then phase 2 a week ago. And we started the antimicrobials yesterday. So I have about probably myself 4 weeks. I don't think I need that crazy of a protocol. My husband's mold exposure is really, really bad because he's had it for a long time. So I should be done with this protocol by the time of the race, which is nice. But the cool thing is my body will be more resilient throughout this training bout because the less mold my body will have and will have to detox. And I've already started to feel better. And so what I did this past week is I tried running 3 times. And I tried running after leg day twice to see how my legs could handle it, because my thought process was, hey, I'm going to have to run 3 loops and I will have a significant amount of time in between. But I want to see how my legs feel after a heavy, hard leg training day and trying to run, if I'm fueling properly. And that was kind of my goal for this week, was to play around with it, see how that goes. But I'm like, okay, I need to actually implement a strategy, a game plan, and have something that I can actually follow and not just kind of wing it day by day, have an actual game plan. And so this is, interestingly enough, when ChatGPT can come in handy. And I know this is not as good as a running coach. I also know I shouldn't have signed up for this thing in the first place. So ChatGPT has my brain because I've talked to it a lot. And I explained very thoroughly what is the race, what are my goals, what I have been running. So this past week I ran a total of 5.5 miles. So I was like, cool. I ran 5.5 miles. I could probably add another 2 to 3 this week, 2 to 3 the next week, 2 to 3 the following week, and then go to a deload the week before. So that's kind of the game plan that it outlined for me. And I was like, okay, cool. I should run about 3 days a week just to evenly divide the mileage and to get my mileage up so that my body can handle the amount of mileage that I have to do. I also wanted to run 3 times because I wanted to play around with different fueling strategies. And I think, like, imagine doing like all of your leg working sets in one workout versus splitting it up to 2 to 3. That's going to feel a lot more manageable and a lot easier on your body to recover from. So that was also kind of my mindset. And I was like, cool. My overall goal is still strength and maintaining strength, but also I want to see what my body can do, which is why my mindset for this is a lot different from the running that I've done in the past, I'm like, can I be a hybrid athlete? Can I train really hard in the gym, fuel my body adequately, recover like it's my day job, and also run and get as fast as I can in 4 weeks without overtaxing my body and my joints? So I'm going to have one kind of more pushing the tempo, trying to hold a bit of a faster pace earlier on in the week. And that will be before leg day. So I'm going to do it on fresh legs. I'll do it after a Sunday off. Do that. Then, and that'll probably be on Mondays when I do my upper body day. So I guess I'll outline my training. So I'm doing upper, lower. So usually how this works, there's other caveats. I am traveling. Usually how this works is I'll do Monday, Tuesday, rest day, Thursday, Friday. Sometimes that Friday lift will be on Saturday, depending on how crazy my Friday looks. But I'm going to try to stick to Friday, and I'll explain why with the running plan. And so Monday, I'll do that pushing run a little bit into my leg day. On Tuesday, Wednesday, I will do a trail run, and that's going to slowly build. So this week, I'll probably do 3 to 4 miles. The next week, I'll do 4 to 5 miles in trails. That following week, I'll do 4 to probably 5 to 6. And then the next week, 6 to 7 miles in trails. And I will probably not be running the uphill. I'll probably be hiking the uphill. So it won't be too taxing. I'll be running the straights and the downhill based on how steep it is. Because I don't want to get hurt. And slowly build the elevation gain too, which will come with the mileage pretty easily. So that's kind of my game plan for the Wednesday trail runs. Then Thursday, no leg anything, upper body day. Friday, lower body day, and easy run, like just moving the legs, not pushing, just getting outside, doing a couple miles to just shake the legs out. And then Saturdays, I'll be going on a hike because I really enjoy doing that for my mental health. And I think it'll be good on my legs to get that mileage. And I can also play around with different fueling strategies when I'm hiking. That might sound like a lot, but I kind of did that this week. And I feel really good. I ran 3 times, I lifted 4 times, and I did about a 9-mile hike. But what I didn't do is cut my calories. I actually increased my calories overall this week just by like, hey, I think I probably could use this amount of carbs. I also want to play around with these carb sources to see how my body likes them, how it feels. And then also, I want my legs to feel as fresh as possible the next day so that I can do the next thing. So fueling, I haven't really set macro targets specifically, but Laura, who was on my podcast the last episode, I've talked to her about this kind of extensively, and she has some cool tools too. So reach out to her if you're interested. She has like an app that'll help you kind of calculate how many carbs you should have during your workouts, depending on the intensity. And so I've used that as a guideline. Like if I'm doing endurance training, like more so zone 2-ish, zone 3-ish, probably going to have 60 grams of carbs per hour. Then using that like on the hikes and on the runs that I'm doing to play around with them, see how my stomach does with those carb fuel sources and see how I feel after. And so yesterday I did probably close to 9.5 miles in about 5 hours with like probably 3,500, maybe close to 4,000 feet of elevation gain. We climbed 3 peaks, and I didn't track the run on my watch or anything, but it just kind of felt like that much, and so I could totally be off. But my friends were like, one had close to 9 miles, and she stopped her watch for about a mile, and then the other friend had about 8 miles, but her watch seems to be off a little bit, so I was like, it's probably closer to 9, and my watch said I walked a total of close to 10 miles after the hike. So I'm like, okay, it's probably 9.5-ish miles. Anyway, on the hike, I had almost 200 grams of carbs with me. So I was eating on that hike, but it was 5 hours. So I'm like, cool. And then I got home and I was like, I'm not really hungry, but I know I need to eat because I just burned a crap ton of calories. So I ate. I had oatmeal and cottage cheese, and that was almost 2 p.m. when I ate that. And then around 4, I was like, I'm still hungry. So I had my Ninja Creamy. And then we had dinner early, or at 5:30-ish, and we had a big bowl of pasta with Parmesan. My husband didn't go with me. He just is a big man and can eat a lot. Then I was like, I'm still hungry. And I looked and I'm like, given my amount of activity level, I could probably eat more. So I had popcorn. And my legs are a little tired today, but not that much soreness given 3 runs, 2 hard leg days, and a hike. And again, I'm not trying to change my body composition. I'm just trying to do all that I want to do. I'm trying to push my body's limits, but also make sure that I'm recovering. So I'm a little bit sore, but again, given all the activity that I did, pretty crazy. And Friday, with the big leg day and the run, I ate close to 3,000 plus calories too, because we actually went to a friend's house and they had us over for dinner, and I had a burger, sausage, potato salad, ice cream, not that much ice cream, but I had some, and or something else. So anyway, I guesstimated calories, but yeah, so I'm eating. I've been eating a lot. And actually, let me see. This is something I'm going to start to do. One of my mentors, I mentor with Aram Gregorian, and he posts his macros every week or every day. And so I think I'm going to start to do that to help like my clients and other people that follow me understand what I'm doing, but also learn from what I'm doing. And I think I'm going to post my scale weight too, because it fluctuates so frequently, and it helped me realize that. So actually my average intake was a little bit, oh my gosh, I didn't even track Monday. Okay. I was probably close to 2,600 plus calories on average, and before I was probably averaging 2,400. So big boost in calories. My weight actually dropped today a little bit. I also started my period. But that's a great sign, because that means the mold protocol is working. But anyway. So my training plan, in summation, is 3 runs a week, 1 hike, 1 trail run, with increase in elevation. The week of the race, I will do 2 easy runs just to move my legs. I will be shifting for lower days at the earlier part of the week, so it'll be lower, upper. And then that Thursday, I won't do any leg anything. And then that Friday is when the race starts. So that's kind of my game plan there. Yeah, I'm kind of excited to see how this goes. One of my coach friends, she's a running coach, so I'm like, hey, how does this look? We'll see what she says, and I might update you guys if I change the game plan, but goal is to do that. Little caveat is this Thursday I'm flying out to California for 10 days. So actually the day this podcast drops, I will be on an airplane, and I will be traveling for those 10 days. Goal for this week is I will be starting training today. So after I record a couple more podcasts, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to hit my upper body day. I'm not going to do any leg things today. So this week I'll be doing squats on Monday, my lower body day. I'll run in the afternoon when it's hot out. I've been doing that too. I've been running in uncomfortable situations so my body can get used to it. So I'll be doing that. And on Tuesday, I'll do my upper body day. Wednesday, I'll do the trail run. And I might do the lower body day. And then I'll have that Thursday, Friday, Saturday kind of off. On Saturday, I'm actually going on a run with some friends. So I work part-time for another coaching company. And so I'm going to their coaching event where I actually get to meet my clients in person. I'm really excited for. And so some of the coaches there, they run. And so I'm going to go on a run with a couple of them. It's just a 3 mile run. So that'll be my easy run of the week. And then, and if I don't hit my second lower body session, I'm kind of okay with it. I would like to, because I enjoy it. And maybe I do that Saturday after the run, or I just take that week off, or I do it Sunday. And then Sunday, I'm planning on going on a hike at one of my favorite spots nearby in California. So, and I'm going to be scaling that hiking mileage too, because I think the more miles I can get on my legs and recover from, the better my body will be able to handle those 17 trail miles. And my trail running shoes should arrive hopefully Tuesday before we leave. There's been a lot of delays in packages. I've been waiting for these honey stinger gels for like a week. So hopefully those will get here today so I can try them and bring them with me and experiment with them when I'm on the road. But yeah, that's kind of my hurdle. But that other week we're in California, we're going to be, I believe, staying close to the beach. So I'll be doing some beach running. And there's a trailhead there, so that's where I'll do my trail run that week. And there's a gym, so I should be able to do all the things that I want to do with training. And I'm going to pack all the stuff that I need. I'm going to pack my workout bag and my shoes and my workout clothes and all that stuff, and I would have done this anyway had I not been signed up for a race, because I did start running again to see like how I can do, because I wanted to incorporate running as my cardio right now, because I missed it and I really enjoy it now, and it's more of a fun way to be outside as opposed to, anyway, swimming in Utah sucks, and it sucks that it sucks, but there are like no pools where I live, so I have to swim in like this tiny dinky 3-lane pool at the gym. Maybe it's 4 lanes. No, I think it's literally 3 lanes. It's terrible. Anyway, so hopefully I will be able to show myself that my body is capable of a lot, and that mentally I'm capable of a lot. And that's kind of what I'm hoping to get out of this, is like challenge myself a little bit, try to do the impossible, and try to be the best that I can be at this crazy thing that I signed up for, and enjoy the process and learn from it. But yeah, that's kind of, hopefully this is helpful, like how my mindset around these things are going. With the whole fueling strategy, I'm just listening to my body, but like actively adding more carbs on more active days so my body can recover from the training. And this might change. I might have to adjust the plan, but this is the plan. So we'll see. Hopefully no crazy life stuff happens in the meantime, but if it does, then I'll make a pivot. But yeah, hopefully this was helpful or informative or anything. And if it was, if you could share it and rate it and subscribe, I'd appreciate it, because that helps me help more people, which is the goal of the show. So anyway, thank you for listening. And if you have a performance goal and you want some help and guidance on it, it's one of my favorite things to help clients with. And actually I have a client who this weekend, he did a century ride on a bike, 100-mile ride. And our strategy was simple. I'm like, cool, just try to have about 60 grams of carbs per hour and see how it goes. And he killed it. He survived. He felt great. So, and maybe that's all you need. You just needed to hear that and you'll go implement it. But obviously there's other things that we do outside of that help set you up for a successful century ride. So if you want to learn how to properly fuel your body and optimize your training and get the most out of your performance, that is something I really enjoy coaching. So just hit me up. And even if you don't want coaching, but you have questions, like shoot me a message on Instagram. I'd be more than happy to help. But anyway, catch you guys on the next one. Peace.